How's it going, all you guys, girls? The Illumination. Time to jump aboard the Loom Train. It's JJD. JJ Double J, the Illuminator here. Also known by almost countless other aliases and nicknames, but we won't get into that right now. When I was a kid, my grandfather's youngest brother's wife, technically my great aunt, I've only seen her twice in my life. My grandfather had a huge family, and well, a lot of people that were born around anywhere between 1900 and in 1930, they probably had a large family. Um, More often than not, statistics show, right? The invention of television, kind of, and the fact that you didn't need a whole bunch of people working on your farm, kind of led to smaller families. One of the reasons, a couple of the reasons, actually. But uh, my great aunt, one time for a family function, she made this homemade tortellini salad. Now it's kind of like it was a cold tortellini salad with carrots and like oil and vinegar or Italian salad dressing or something like that. It was out of this world. Now, if I'm trying to think if it was cheese tortellini or meat tortellini, I think it was meat tortellini, but I wouldn't bet my life on it. The thing I'm trying to talk about right now is that I was thinking about this tortellini salad, and it was like the bomb.com. Let me tell you, this was like the greatest thing I ever ate in my life. Up until that point, that's what I thought anyway. It was so good. My mother was able to get the recipe from her, and I know this recipe is written down somewhere. But in the course of moving and this, that, and the other thing, I'm not sure if I have it or if my mother still has it. But it's something that I definitely haven't had in many, 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 many years. Probably since the '90s. Uh, when I was knee high to a grasshopper. Well, not really. I've been 6 feet tall since I was 12 years old, but you get the point. Now that I'm older and I like to kind of connect myself with things that I haven't had in a while, especially if they remind me of life when I was younger, this is one of the things that seems to have fallen through the cracks. Now, of course, there's a million different recipes for tortellini salad online. And I'm sure I can find something very, very similar, especially since it's been so long since I had it. How am I going to know if it's exactly the same? It's not like I had it a million times. Like, when you could taste something years later, you could say, "Oh, that tastes exactly like my mother used to make," because you've had it many, 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 many times. But I just was thinking about this tortellini salad, saying, "This I wouldn't mind trying this again." It was very easy to make, if I remember correctly, but just something that I haven't had. There's so much out there with computers with great recipes, but to each his own. Everyone has their own taste. Like pasta sauce. Around here, a lot of the Italians call it gravy. A lot of places they call it gravy. To me, gravy is that brown stuff that you put on turkey and meatloaf and stuff. To me, it's tomato sauce. It's spaghetti sauce. But everyone has their own favorite. You could taste something like someone could say, "Oh, try this recipe. It's the greatest I've ever had in my life," and you can make it and say, "There's nothing special about this," because tastes are different for everyone. So that's the thing about online. Having to try something and it might not be exactly up your street. I was gonna say up your nose, but that doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, this tortellini salad is something I gotta be looking around for this recipe in my travels. And do you ever have like a recipe or something that you had? Maybe you don't have a recipe. Maybe there's something that you had that you say, "Oh man, if I ever had the recipe for that, it was like the greatest I ever had of this or that," and I'd love to have the recipe. Like there's a restaurant around here that does. Um, it's I want to say like what's that thing? It's like a sweet potato, like a yam. It's not a regular potato. What is it? Butternut squash. But I couldn't think. Butternut squash. When it kind of looks like mashed potatoes after when it's all. There's a restaurant around here that people say the butternut squash. They don't know what they do to it, but it's like the best. Because a lot of people don't like butternut squash. You have to really do all kinds of stuff to get flavor. People say, I don't know. I usually don't eat it, but people say around here they wish they wish they knew what the restaurant put in it to make it so good. Anyway, Stuff like that. If there's ever anything like that, put your comments below. I think I said what I wanted to say and then some. I'm off to the races. I love you all. Take care. Stay safe. Have a good rest of the day. This is the Illuminator, and I'll be back.
A man who doesn't spend time with his porridge will never be a real man.